Good evening, West Orange, and welcome to our January 27th council meeting. Madam Clerk, would you kindly read the opening statement?
This is to inform the general public that this meeting is being held in compliance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. A notice of this meeting was mailed to the Star Ledger and the West Orange Chronicle on December 4th, 2014. A notice of this meeting was also posted on the bulletin board in the Municipal Building, West Orange, and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk of the Township of West Orange on December 4th, 2014. Councilman Cirillo?
Present.
Councilman Kukoviac?
Present.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Present.
Councilwoman Spango?
Present.
Council President Garino.
Present.
Mayor Parisi. Will everyone please rise for the presentation of colors by the West Orange Fire Department?
Left face. Present arm. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order arms.
Council President, with your permission,
Absolutely, Chief. Thank you.
everybody please take their seats. Welcome everyone to a special occasion tonight. Council President, first of all, I want to thank you on behalf of the Marino family for continuing this agenda tonight in council session. So we're very happy to be here tonight. Before we start, I want to first acknowledge publicly the Honorable Starrett. Thank you very much for your time and dedication to the citizens of West Orange. You've been a very great big help to the West Orange Fire Department for many issues that we've had to go before your bench, and we appreciate all the help you've given us, and I appreciate it personally, and we will miss you, but congratulations and good luck in your future endeavors. Okay. Well, this is a great night. Whenever we get to do a promotion, it's always a great night. We rarely have promotions here at the council chamber in full council. So this was a great opportunity to have this ceremony here tonight, and I do appreciate it. I want to recognize several people here. Our former fire chief, Frank Caper, just walked in, and he's chief. Chief Capron is credited with the hiring process of firefighter Marino, and that's why he's here tonight. He was a special invitation, and I'm glad the chief was here to show up. As with this ceremony, as with every ceremony, he comes to support us. It was his foresight, his knowledge, and his leadership years ago that brought us to the place we are here today. So thank you again, Chief. The council president, member of the council, our mayor, I want to thank everybody here for supporting what we do at the West Orange Fire Department, which includes our promotions. Tonight is a special occasion. As I said, we had a recent retirement, and now we're promoting firefighter Sal Marino to the rank of fire captain. This is a vacant position that needs to be filled, and I can assure you that firefighter Marino is up to the task. We have discussed his roles, his responsibilities, and he is looking forward to take it on. This is not the first Marino that's in the fire service. He comes from a history of Marinos in the fire service. First, his father, Sal, who served in the Newark Fire Department, retired. His brothers, Albert and Michael, got that right? And they've been serving just a little bit longer than Sal, but Sal says he's had it much tougher, so I don't know what I might start any trouble here tonight. But anyhow, so with that, and his wife Susie here and his children, I want to welcome you all and congratulate you all, because this has been a long journey. 21 years in the fire department. It's not easy to get rank in the fire department. It's very competitive. It's positions related. And the fact that Sal's able to get this position, along with several of his classmates from 1994, he's part of the new leadership of this department. So, Sal, congratulations. With that said, let's get to it. Mayor Parisi, please. Wherever you want.
I, Salvatore Maiorino,
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially, and justly
perform all of the duties
of the office of fire captain
of the office of fire captain
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
One of the traditions we have at the fire department is that a small token of appreciation is to the spouse of our promotees. For those who don't know, in order to become promoted, you have to spend time and time, years of study, just to get to at least one step. And this is a small token of appreciation, just to say thank you for all that you had to put up with these many years.
Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. In this weather, it was a little hectic. We didn't know what was going on, if it was going to happen today, but I want to thank everybody here, council president. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor Parisi, thank you so much. Mr. Sayers, Chief Smeraldo. I got on this job as 19 years old. I pretty much grew up on this job. I did grow up on this job. And my dad, thank you, Dad. Appreciate it. Mom, my brothers, if I step out of line, I hear some pretty good stuff from my family to get me right back in line. So it's a great honor. Thank you all for coming. And new guys on the job, it goes by really fast. I didn't believe it when I got on. What do these old guys know? Now I'm one of the old guys. It really does go by fast. So good luck to all you. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
First of all, Cap Marino, watch the wise guy, old guy comment. That's, And second of all, it's not true, guys. You're going to have to salute him, I swear. Anyhow, that concludes our portion of this program tonight. Again, on behalf of the fire department, Mayor Parisi, thank you very much. Council President, thank you for letting us participate here tonight, and all the members of the council. Thank you very much. And to the Honor Guard, I want to thank you for, again, putting on a great show, and we're going to let them march out so we can continue on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. Chief?
Yes.
Chief, if I may say, Captain Marino, we wish you a long and successful career, and the residents of the Township of West Orange are fortunate to have a man of your caliber leading the men of our West Orange Fire Department. So we thank you, and just know we're always here for you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
The next order of business we have tonight is a presentation from the Township Council to the Honorable Harry Starrett, our retiring municipal court judge.
This is probably easy to use. True.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you. Thanks. My pleasure. Thank you very much. Mayor Parisi, members of the administration, members of the Township Council, my colleagues. Judge Starrett, I wish you to come up here, please, sir. We'd like to make a few words in a presentation to you, sir. Your Honor, thank you. Judge Starrett, the Township of West Orange is a better place because of your service to our municipal court and your service to our community. We know you're not going away. You'll always be here to service the Township of West Orange, and whenever we have any questions, I'm sure we can always pick up the phone and call you, and we thank you for your dedication and your job. I'd like to make just the announcement from the citation that we're presenting His Honor tonight. The Honorable Harry L. Starrett, Municipal Court Judge. Harry L. Starrett graduated from the University of Delaware in 1967. He obtained a Doctor of Law degree from Seton Hall University School of Law in 1971 and a Master's in Tax Law degree from New York University in 1980. He is a practicing attorney with offices in West Orange since 1971 and a 42-year resident of the Township of West Orange. On November 11, 1992, Harry L. Starrett, Esquire, was appointed to the position of Municipal Court Judge with the Township of West Orange by Mayor Samuel Spino. This was the beginning of a 22-year career with the Township. He served 5 consecutive 3-year terms, and in 2005 was appointed Chief Judge by Mayor John McCann. He continued to serve 3 more terms under the McCann administration, and in 2010, Mayor Robert Parisi appointed Judge Starrett as Chief Judge, and he served in that capacity until his retirement in 2014. The Township Council wishes to thank Judge Starrett for his commitment and outstanding service to the West Orange community and wishes you continued success in the future. Judge Starrett, we thank you very much, and we hope we'll see you around all the time, sir. Please enter.
Okay, well, thank you all. I have a few words to say, if I may. First, although they've all left, congratulate Captain Marino and his family on his promotion. Council President Garino, members of council, Mayor Parisi, thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the town of West Orange this evening. Judges are usually recognized when they retire or die, so I'm pleased that I'm here in person. This has been called a farewell, but as our council president has mentioned, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not judge anymore. I plan to remain in West Orange. My judicial career started in this chamber over 22 years ago. I really did not know what to do, but Edry Daniels, who unfortunately called me a little while ago that she was unable to be here because of the weather, was there to guide me. I sat right over there. Different, not this fancy stuff you have today. I vividly remember at the end of my first court session in November 1992, as it happened yesterday, I asked Edry, what do I do now? And her reply to me was, Judge, you go home and we'll see you at the next session. The next sessions continued for over 22 years. I can recall the first time I read the plaque that is in the judge's office, which lists the names of all the judges and the years of their service. And I saw Judge Skarbnik, 16 years, Judge Degnan, 20 years, and never did I imagine that I would be doing this for over 22 years. As a judge, you're restricted in what you say and do, not only in private, but public. So for 22 years, I was limited in what I could say. For the most part, it was in court when I addressed the public, those in court, by stating, "Good day or evening. I am Chief Judge Harry Starrett, will be presiding over court. In this court, you have the following rights." And then I would go on for several minutes explaining those rights. Then I would hear 50 to 75 cases, find people guilty, impose fines, suspend licenses, sometimes put a defendant in jail, and so forth. A judge is not a very popular person and does not have the chance to say thank you. So tonight, I want to recognize and say thank you to the many people who made possible my career on the bench and with whom I have interacted with over the past 22 years. I apologize for missing anyone. First of all, I thank Mayor Sam Spina for appointing me in November 1992 and reappointing me 3 times. At the time of my first appointment, Sam said to me, "Harry, you'll be a good judge." Sam always supported me in the municipal court, and I hope I did not disappoint him. I thank former mayor, now our Assemblyman John McKean, who reappointed me 3 times. John and I have a lot in common. We're both lawyers. We enjoy working out, particularly when I had 2 good knees, now I'm down to 1. Are very concerned about the environment, and we have 2 daughters, one of whom is a Melissa. So we each have a Melissa. John and I were always on the same page, and he supported me at all times. I also thank the council members over the years who supported my appointments. Over the 22 years, thousands of people appeared before me. I know most of them were not happy to be there or when they left, but I hope they left court feeling they got a fair hearing. There are hundreds of defense attorneys. They are crucial to the process, and I thank all of them. To our law enforcement men and women who appeared in court, I thank you. To our West Orange officers, many of whom I did court business with in my kitchen, in my pajamas, in the middle of the night, I especially thank you for your commitment to enforcing the law in a fair and just manner. Our police have a tough job and do protect and serve us. They are all to be commended for a job well done. I was blessed to have excellent prosecutors. The list includes former Essex County Surrogate Joe Brennan, Peggy Padavano before she became judge, the late Mark Infante, Grace Spencer, and for the past 4 years, Robert Candido. They were all outstanding prosecutors. Likewise, I had excellent public defenders, formerly Anthony Alfano, our current assistant public defender, Jonathan Goodman, and public defender, Joseph Wenzel. I had the honor and privilege to serve on the bench with the late Mayor Bill Cousy and for the past 10 years with Peggy Padavano. My special passion was code and zoning enforcement. I am proud that, with very few exceptions, that I presided over every code and zoning case over a period of 22 years. I thank all of the township employees and assistant township attorneys who prosecuted for their commitment and dedication to enforce the town ordinances so as to maintain the quality of life. I stated thousands of times that everyone who resides in, owns property in, or has a place of business in West Orange has an obligation to do his or her share to make West Orange a place where people want to live. In the Starrett Court, this meant painting your house and repairing your sidewalk or driveway when it was time to do so, respecting your neighbors, maintaining your lawn, removing snow from your sidewalk, no littering, controlling your trash, no illegal apartments or businesses, no excessive noise. These are all important quality of life issues which go to the heart of what I believe makes a community vibrant and desirable. If we all do our share, West Orange will be just fine. So to the code zoning enforcement people, past and present, the late Kim Bragoni, Connie McManus, the late Russ DeSantis, Ray Baer, Tom Biondi, Will Ordonez, Susan Borg, Janice Adams, Tom Tracy, Perry Jambor, and Mike Grandusky, I thank you. The municipal court functions only as well as the staff performs. I can tell you without reservation that we have the best staff. dedicated, knowledgeable, committed, and hardworking. Our municipal court has a heavy caseload and an unimaginable amount of paperwork and the task of dealing with attorneys and defendants every day. The phone rings all day long. I thank former Deputy Kathy Brennan, now Gerber, former Deputy Lauren Aker, now Delgauer, former Clerk Lee D. Pasquale, and clerks Christina Ruggieri, now Palmier, and Kathy Carcillo for their service. The court needs Kathy to have her position made full-time, and she deserves this. She is an excellent employee. I hope council will remember my recommendation and approve this in your next budget. Our court administrator, Edric Daniels, and Deputy Administrator Jennifer Tudelo deserve special recognition. They are two of the hardest working persons I have ever known and have a well-known reputation as being the best. I cannot overstate their commitment and dedication. The township is blessed to have them with the court. They never complained about my schedule of no lunch breaks and bathroom breaks only when absolutely necessary when I had to go. My court session started early and ran late. They showed up for work every day. Snow, rain, hurricanes, you name it, court was open. Words cannot express my feelings for Edri and Jennifer and how much I appreciated their work and support. They make the court a success. I publicly thank and applaud both of them. A few final comments. My judicial philosophy was simple. Everyone gets treated the same, with or without an attorney. No special deals. Bad behavior has consequences. If you do something wrong, there will be a penalty to pay. And if there was a choice between what was good or not good for West Orange, the choice was always what was good for the town. Being a municipal court judge is a 24/7 job. You're on call at all times for warrants, restraining orders, search warrants. The calls come in at any time or place, especially since the introduction of cell phones, at the movies, in a restaurant, on vacation, on my sailboat, and most often at 3 o'clock in the morning at home. Obviously, this impacts on the judge's significant other. My significant other is my wife, Sandy. Most people don't know or remember that Sandy was the first community activist of the Starrett family, beginning over 35 years ago. She was president of the League of Women Voters, member of the Radon Task Force, Environmental Commission, a founding member of the community activist group Neighborhoods Coalition, and for years she sat on the planning and zoning boards. My public service and involvement was a continuation of her commitment to making West Orange a better place to reside, raise a family, and work. For over 50 years, Sandy is and has been the love of my life and my best friend. I thank her for always supporting me. Lastly, I thank the Township of West Orange for allowing me to serve you as municipal judge. Thank you.
Council President, if I may just have a moment.
Absolutely.
Mr. Trank had wanted to be here himself, wasn't able to get here, but on behalf of the Law Department, we want to personally thank Judge Starrett for the efforts he made in connection with property maintenance enforcement. He set up a special day every month when those matters were heard. He was instrumental in us having an effective property maintenance program. He also made himself available when we had emergency issues. Didn't matter what time of day it was, what day it was, and we want to thank him for that.
Thank you, Mr. Kaiser. Okay, now Yes. We'll close our conference agenda meeting right now, and we'll be coming back for our public meeting. Thank you.
What about the budget meeting dates?
Oh, council liaison, I'm sorry. We have our, I forgot about, we have our council liaison presentations.
No, budget meeting
Oh,
dates.
the budget dates, sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. Mr. Sayers, do we have any conditional budget dates for our municipal budget?
Yes, we're actually looking at, if it's possible, February the 28th, which is the last Saturday in February, and possibly March 1st, which would be the first Sunday in March. I believe, what's our drop dead date to submit, the 12th?
The 12th, we actually have to submit by the 12th.
Yeah, we need to submit by the 12th. We should have the budget ready to everyone by next week.
By the 10th.
Yeah, by February the 10th. So that will give us at least 3 weeks to review it before we have our budget hearing. So we're suggesting the 28th and the 1st if necessary.
What time?
We usually start at 9 a.m. on Saturday.
Any discussion on the dates, or?
I'm not available on the 1st, but is that just in case?
That's in case.
That's just in
Usually
case.
we get it done in
We
one
have
day.
been.
But if need be, we always post the second day just in case.
Okay.
Okay. I have no problem with the 28th or the 1st. Councilman Cirillo?
No announcements.
No, the budget date, 28th or the 1st.
That works for me.
Okay. Councilman Krokoviac?
Let me check my schedule, please.
Okay.
I'll have to pass for the now.
Okay. Councilwoman Spango?
I'm good.
Good. Okay.
Go through announcements and then get back to
All right. While Councilman Krokoviac's looking at his schedule, I'd like to go any council liaison presentations. Councilman Cirillo?
No announcements.
No announcements? Councilwoman Spango?
No announcements.
Councilwoman McCartney?
I have plenty. Okay. At the last planning board meeting, January, we approved the Domino's Pizzeria at 335 Valley Road. On next Wednesday, February 4th, we will be listening to the AutoZone application, long awaited, at 7 Main Street. That's at 7:30 p.m. here in council chambers. At 7:30 a.m. on the same day, February 4th, next Wednesday, we have the Chamber of Commerce sponsoring the State of the Town address. This will be held this year at the annual breakfast. This year it will be at the Wilshire Grand. Actually, it's 8 to 9:30.
Not 7:30, right?
It's 8 o'clock, starts at 8. We'll be there. We have 300 welcome bags. Everyone is invited. I have tickets here, or you can go to westorangechamber.com and order tickets online. Again, it's a State of the Town address. The mayor will be recognizing outstanding students from the high school, Citizen of the Year, Employee of the Year. It's a lovely event. Another upcoming event is to support the Thomas Edison National Historic Park. This will be a champagne brunch and matinee on February 22nd at Luna Stage. We have the Friends of Edison are sponsoring this. Music will be provided by Jim Keefe, sponsored by Advantage Pest Control, and food will be provided by Starlight Pizzeria, The Bagel Box, and Pink Cupcakes, and we have plenty of additional food to come in for the champagne brunch. The play at 3 o'clock is The Perfect Ganesh, Terrence McNally's play. Tickets are $40, and they can be purchased online. Or again, I have tickets here available. I think that's it. Unico breakfast, but I don't have any.
Thank you, Councilor.
I have one of them, just to remind me the date.
My presentation for the West Orange Downtown Alliance basically will be presented tonight when the budget for the Downtown Alliance will be presented. So we'll wait until that part of our presentation. Councilman Krokoviac, schedule for the budget meetings?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my BlackBerry to fire up, but in the meantime, if I could, I apologize to everyone, including my colleagues, for not attending the January 6th council meeting. You must have noticed I wasn't here because it was one of the fastest. I watched the video. It was a very fast meeting. As some of you may know, in the last few months, my health has taken a bit of a hit. And first, when I had a fall in my backyard raking leaves, resulted in my friends from the West Orange Fire Department coming to take me to Barnabas to have surgery to repair a torn quadriceps tendon in my left knee. So you got to be really careful when you rake leaves in West Orange. I didn't realize that, but now I do. And then more recently, I had a bout with the flu that landed me back in the hospital. Saw some of the same people there after I fainted at church. So thankfully, I'm back to full speed, pretty much back to full speed, except for my calendar on my BlackBerry. And I just want to thank all of the township police officers and the West Orange Fire Department personnel who provided excellent emergency care to me when I needed it. They didn't make fun of me, and they laughed at some of my jokes, so I really appreciate that, in addition to giving me excellent care. And also want to thank the residents who have sent along their well wishes to me over the last few weeks. But I'm fine, I'm back, and if anybody doubts me, I'll be glad to kick them with my left leg. So thank you, Council President.
You're very welcome, Councilman.
Let me just, now my BlackBerry's up, so just give me a second, please.
Cheaper.
And I'm good.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. So we'll publish the fact that we'll have our municipal budget meeting here in council chambers 9 o'clock on February 28th. And
28th, and if need be, 9 o'clock Sunday morning the 1st.
okay, and I invite the entire West Orange community to please participate, to come, to listen to the presentations, and ask your questions. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Sayers, and thank you to my council colleagues. I now will close our conference agenda.
Okay. This is to inform the general public that this meeting is being held in compliance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. A notice of this meeting was mailed to the Star-Ledger and the West Orange Chronicle on December 4th, 2014. A notice of this meeting was also posted on the bulletin board in the Municipal Building, West Orange, and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk of the Township of West Orange on December 4th, 2014. Councilman Cirillo?
Present.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Present.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Present.
Councilwoman Spango?
Present.
Council President Garino.
Present.
Mayor Parisi.
Madam Clerk, before we continue the meeting, I would just like everybody here in council chambers and members of the residents of the community watching on TV to let's take a moment of silence. The past week, we lost a very dedicated and proud West Orange resident, Gary Angler. Gary was a devoted son of the Township of West Orange. He was a proud father to his daughters Jessica and Catherine, and a proud grandfather. But most importantly, too, Gary was very dedicated to his brother veterans throughout the state of New Jersey, and particularly enabling West Orange to take the proud announcement of being the most decorated township in the state of New Jersey. Gary served his country proudly and with valor during the Vietnam War, receiving 2 Bronze Stars for valor. We'll miss Gary. We'll miss his presence, we'll miss his opinions, and he will be sorely missed. And it's a person that was always there for the Township of West Orange, whether you agreed with Gary or not. So I ask all of you to take a moment of silence, and let's remember our dear friend and Township resident, Gary Angler. We've already had our Pledge of Allegiance, thanks to the West Orange Honor Guard. I now open the township meeting to public comment. Are there any members from the public wishing to make comments to the council? Yes, ma'am. Would you like to come up, please? Sorry. Could you just please, when the microphone, your name and your address, please?
Okay. So my name is Prasiddha Tilak, and I live in Hutton Lafayette Gardens, 121 Randolph Place. I've been here for the past 2 years. I'm really liking the place, and West Orange is a great place to live. The reason I'm here is I volunteer for the Art of Living organization. So my motive is to bring happiness to the people, in and around. So I would like to request, you all to help me out to conduct a happiness program in West Orange to help people deal with breathing techniques, meditation and yoga, and, conduct programs. I would like to know, your opinion on it. And also, we have a course that's happening in Jersey City. It's called the Happiness Program. I have some flyers here. If anyone's interested, you can take a look at it. So we are a big community. We are like, there are 18,000 followers. And our motive is to just spread peace and happiness. And breath is the thing that connects. When you're angry, your breath is different. When you're depressed, your breath is different. So I think you should all come, give us an opportunity to help spread this knowledge to West Orange as well. So you need to help me out as to how I need to go about it. So thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Do you have a website address?
Yes, I have all the details in this. Yeah. If you can pass it on.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
If you could just provide the website address, just speak it and spell it very slowly so that people who might be at home who want to check onto this, they can hear that, please.
It's called www.artofliving.org, art.living.org. So we are a non-profit organization. So our motive is to, one world, one family, which is really happy and, in peace. So let's spread this wave of happiness everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any other members of the public wishing to be heard tonight? Seeing none, I close public comment. Madam Clerk? Oh. Do any of my council colleagues? Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you. I just wanted to welcome you to West Orange and thank you for coming up and talk about your initiative for a health and happiness seminar. We do have a public relations commission and they have been doing quite a few health fair type of projects, so I think it would be a perfect fit with the Public Relations Commission. So I think you're on the right track. It's something that the Chamber of Commerce has talked about, doing maybe a health fair with the Downtown Alliance. They don't know about that yet. Chamber of Commerce, PR, and Downtown Alliance. So your timing's perfect.
Thank you. Councilman Cirillo, any comments?
No comments.
Councilman Kukoviac?
I'm good, thank you.
Councilwoman Spango?
Good.
Thank you. Okay. Madam Clerk?
Okay. Approval of minutes of previous meeting, December 9th and January 6th public meeting.
Consent.
Report of township officers, municipal judges reports, October, November, and December of 2014.
Consent.
Consent.
Reading of petitions and communications and bids, none. Bills, are there any questions on the bills?
No.
Consent.
Resolutions, are any resolutions being pulled this evening?
Madam Clerk, I would like to pull Resolution 45-15.
Okay.
Which is the Special Improvement District 2015 budget public hearing and adoption.
Okay. Are any other resolutions being pulled?
Councilwoman
I
Spango?
don't necessarily want to pull, but I don't think Mr. Lepore is here, but maybe Mr. Sayers, could you just give like a better explanation for 4415?
H.
Site remediation?
Yeah, these are sites that we have in town that have to be reviewed as per DEP guidelines. So we have to get somebody to do those evaluations as per their instructions to us, actually requirements. It's required. So that's why we're putting that on the agenda for this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Councilwoman McCartney? Councilman Kukoviac, are you pulling on resolutions?
If I could, I would like to pull agenda item H, Resolution 44-15, which we just spoke about, and then also Agenda Item O, Resolution 5115. It's the emergency contract between the township and Rapid Pump and Meter Service Company. And then I had some questions on some of the other items, if now would be appropriate to ask them.
Which resolutions do you have questions on?
I just wanted to start out by flagging Resolution 38-15. It's the resolution authorizing the township to apply for the 2015 New Jersey Historic Preservation Fund subgrant. That actually, if you're looking at the agenda, it says memorialized. If I recall correctly, it was inadvertently left off the previous council meeting agenda, and it had a deadline to submit to the state, and the council actually worked with the municipal clerk to actually approve that in between council meetings. So I just wanted to flag that, just if anybody had any questions about that. On Resolution 39-15, I just wanted to ask a few questions about, this is a resolution that basically cancels certain appropriations that were made during 2014, and I just wanted to ask a few questions of the Chief Financial Officer. We went back and forth before the meeting because of the weather. We had less time than normal, and I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. Some of the things that we're canceling, I just wanted to ask about, just as it relates to our operations. We're canceling $300,000 of the $650,000 that we budget every year to pay off successful property tax appeals. And I was just curious, we've had a lot of tax appeals, but we're not using $300,000 of the money. And I'm just curious, did we have a much better performance last year?
Yeah, I think, as I've indicated previously, that this particular fund is the fund that we used for current year appeals, as opposed to the previous year appeals, which we have been bonding for the past 2-3 years. We also, last year, even though we budgeted $650, we only spent $350, and we canceled $300, so we did again this year. And that money goes to surplus, and in order to have that anticipated for revenue for the following year, for this year's budget. So that is consistent with last year.
Okay.
To the extent that, at this point in time, I feel it's appropriate.
Okay. Just a quick question, because I just want to make sure I understand this. Because we're actually borrowing money to pay for some of our property tax appeals.
Previous year appeals.
Previous years. And so we couldn't use that $300,000 to pay for previous year's appeals. Is that
it could be used for that, but it's kind of 6 1 half dozen the other, in the sense if you don't use it for that, then you'd have to raise that money in next year's budget. You would not have that available for tax reduction in the next year, so then you'd have to raise money in the next year's budget. So it's really, this is a cleaner way to put money quite frankly, into fund balance, so that you can have it for next year. It's kind of a wash either way.
Okay. And then there was, we also didn't spend a little over $124,000 that we had budgeted for the joint meeting. That's our sewer, the people that provide our sewer.
Sorry?
Provide sewer service. I'm just curious, that's a large amount of money. Was there something that
we actually got a rebate back, depending on when they have surpluses, they will surplus rebate money back to the township. This year we actually had a pretty decent rebate back, so.
Okay. And then there was almost $33,000 that wasn't spent as part of the pool budget. That seems like a large number for a relatively small operation. Did something happen that...
It's actually consistent with previous years. In years past, we've let it lapse to surplus. This year, I'm just canceling it at the end of the year.
Okay. I just wanted to ask a question about Resolution 48-15. That's a resolution that approves the township's corrective action plan based upon concerns listed in the 2013 audit. One of the things that we got flagged on was that when our garbage pickup provider sends in their bills, they're supposed to attach the, I guess, the total collection weight for the period, and they weren't doing that. And
It's unclear. When I say, the audit doesn't say that they weren't doing, they say that upon audit, they weren't attached to the purchase order. My sense or my recollection is that I don't remember not seeing that sent in, and somehow or another, perhaps it got disconnected from, the purchase order and wasn't there upon audit. But I can't tell you for certain. But generally speaking, I mean, because the bills do run through my office, I do not recall not seeing them when they've come in. So for whatever reason, upon audit, they weren't there, and so we got copies and attached them to it, and we're now just checking to make sure, moving forward, that we have them all, that they're not, they're not somewhere else. So even though, I mean, it's a valid audit comment, they weren't there. Just
Doesn't mean we don't have them.
I believe, my opinion is we received it, but they weren't there upon audit, so.
So we ran out of time emailing back and forth before the council meeting. I just want to ask the question because the way we left it is the bill that they submit is based upon the tonnage or the amount that they collect.
Right.
If we weren't getting the amount that they were collected, how were we able to verify that they were billing us for the correct information?
One of the reasons I do believe we probably received it is because part of that check, we would go through that. My sense is that for whatever reason, they just weren't there. And
I just wanted to add to that, though, that the tonnage report is something that we discuss at the Environmental Commission meeting all the time, so it may not have been attached, but it is something that we do see.
And if it had not been there, I mean, we would have caught up with that at some point in time, because it is, we periodically do reports about our tonnage, so we would be collecting that data, and if we went back and it wasn't there, we didn't have it, we found it, and then it would have percolated up. So.
Mr. Gross, we could, I mean, these things are archived, so we could get a copy of that.
We did.
We did get a copy?
We did.
Okay.
We did.
So basically, the question has been answered that we've confirmed that the tonnage and the bill paid match what we paid out to the vendor.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
They just weren't submitted
It just
with the
wasn't
report.
submitted.
Yeah, they just weren't there upon audit.
Upon audit, but that has been
We do
since
about
correct.
5,000 purchase orders a year. I mean, I'm, don't say that I'm not surprised, but I mean, it's certainly, it wouldn't be unusual from time to time, things happen.
Thank you, Mr. Gross.
That's it, Council President, thank you.
All right. Councilwoman Spango, are you pulling any?
No, I just had that question, which Jack already answered.
Okay.
Explain.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes. Resolution 4615. We have a resolution appointing a new public information officer because our public information officer has moved to Atlanta. And this would be a contract for this coming year. And I know that our prospective appointee is here, and I would just like her to introduce herself and talk about her extensive resume and your vision of the position. Please. Can we do that now?
Yes, sure.
Welcome.
Good evening and welcome.
Happy New Year.
Hello. I'm Andrea Susan Anderson, but everyone in town here knows me as Susan. I've lived in West Orange for about 12 years now, and I'm a former reporter and victim of the print, the downsize of newspaper print. For years, in between being a journalist, I've actually done a lot of public relations, PR, worked on some campaigns, and for entertainers and things like that. And I've done this for a long time, since about 1997, written hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of articles and edited thousands and thousands of newspapers, and done a lot of PR. I manage information, I write, I edit,
And that's basically what the position will be.
Yeah.
To get the word out.
If anyone has any questions, yeah. I have a BA in journalism, a master's in anthropology and media.
Do you have If I may ask, do you have any vision for the Public Relations Commission?
I would have to get together with them, and I'd like to merge my vision with theirs, but I've watched them in the 12 years that I've worked here. I think they do a wonderful job, and I think they do a good job of maintaining and getting the message out. I don't hear as much from them as I did when I first moved here, so that's one thing when I do meet with them and talk to them, that I'd like to know, exactly where they are and what they're doing and where they're going.
There's a lot that can be done with the Public Relations Commission.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of my other colleagues have any questions?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk? Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Cirillo?
There's two resolutions in here that I just have a question on, 4715 and 5315. And what they do is they authorize the execution of an agreement for tax appeals. I understand, Council President, 4715 is for commercial real estate tax appeals, and 5315, is that supposed to be for residential? Okay, so then that means that there's a typo at the now be resolved, and on the agenda itself, because in there it says, if I'm correct, that we're authorizing an agreement for commercial real estate tax. On the bottom of Resolution 5315.
That should be residential.
The bottom of 5315 now therefore be resolved. If the objective is to authorize an agreement or a contract for residential real estate tax appeals, should read real estate tax appeals at the bottom. And also the agenda should reflect that as well.
Residential, okay.
It's missing from the agenda.
That's all.
Okay, thank you, I'll revise that.
Thank you, Councilman.
Okay, so with the exception of Resolution H, I, and O, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is implemented.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Resolution 4515. The meeting will now come to order. The clerk will call the roll.
Councilman Cirillo?
Present.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Present.
Councilwoman Spango?
Present.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Present.
Council President Garino.
Present.
This is the time for the public hearing on the Downtown West Orange Alliance budget for 2015. The budget was approved by the governing body on December 9, 2014, and advertised in full as required by law on December 18, 2014 in the West Orange Chronicle. Printed copies have been made available to the public, and a supply is here tonight for anyone that would like one, right up here at the corner. Now would be the time to grab one.
And anyone who has not secured a copy of the Downtown West Orange Alliance SID 2015 budget may do so now. I'd like to have the Megan Brill, our Executive Director, and John McElroy, our Chairman of our Downtown Alliance, make our 2015 budget presentation. Would my colleagues like to move to the front of the chamber, and we could look at the presentation being made?
It's okay with this paper today, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm around.
Joe, I don't think this is going very much.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
want to kill some lights?
Yeah.
Good. Good? This is good? Okay, right. Good evening, everyone. My name is John McElroy. I am the chair of the Downtown West Orange Alliance, and I'm here to introduce our executive director, who's going to present our annual budget with a PowerPoint presentation showing our accomplishments and how we prepare our budget for the upcoming year. So, Megan, it's all you. Megan Brill, our executive director.
Thank you, John. I wanted to introduce, we have a couple of board members. I think that the weather kept away most of our board, but we do have Kevin Cruz with us, and Joe Fagan is also with us. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate the time to be able to present our budget. This will be my second year presenting the budget in this format and my third year with the Downtown Alliance as their director. Okay. The Downtown Alliance, actually I wanted to mention that our budget last year was 28 minutes long, and this year it's about 18, so I did shorten it a little bit, and but I wanted to provide a little bit of overview, and that will take us right to our budget presentation. The Downtown Alliance is a 501c3 organization charged with promoting and supporting the businesses along the downtown corridor. The Downtown Alliance was created in 1998 by ordinance passed by the Township Council. There is an 11-member board of trustees and an executive director. Over the past several years, our budgets have ranged from $240,000 to $220,000. Last year's budget was $220,000. You have to remember to take out the $28,000 in-kind services to get a net operating budget of $192,000. Of that $192,000, we spent $189,697.72. And what we ended up doing with that budget is allocated right here. We have the 6 areas of our budget, and you can see that our total budget was $192,000 and we spent the $189,000. There's a further comparison later on in the budget as well. Okay. So, in 2014, we said that every dime that we spend and every event that we hold needs to directly benefit the business and property owners. If it doesn't, we need to look at whether we should continue doing it. And we continue to do that as well. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, part of our accomplishments were our farmers market. We continued with Friday afternoons in the Quigley lot. The market runs from June to October. We've had 10 vendors total, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but they range from jewelry to cupcakes. We have games and activities for the kids weekly. Actually, this is our summer intern, Emily, and that is actually my son, Luke, who played with us and played with the kids most of the summer. We also have a new vendor, which was There's the Rub, and we had residents young and old come out and support our market this year. During the market, we did pumpkin painting, which is a mainstay of the market. We did trick-or-treating event, which is a brand new event this year. Halloween this year was on a Friday, so we thought, well, let's start at the farmers market and head all the way downtown. So what we were able to do is create a map. Actually, Perry Bashkoff helped us create this map, and it had 50-plus businesses on it, and we handed that out at the farmers market to parents and kids, and the kids traveled the corridor. And what we heard about after this event was that more people came into their stores and saw the different goods and services that they had provided. This is Nick's from Nick's Hair Salon. That's his whole crew. They were vampires and vampire-esques, and they won, I guess, the contest that we held last year. Holiday open house. Again, mainstays of what we do downtown. This is one of the events that truly drives traffic to the corridor. This year we expanded the trolley ride, with a guided tour with Joe Fagan and the mayor and the town council. We also went into the reservation this year and talked about the hill climb. We added a holiday bazaar, which allowed folks to shop downtown while they were waiting for the trolley. We had some businesses from the corridor and lots of other vendors housed inside the community house. So even though it was a really rainy, nasty day, we had over 125 participants at each event. We had over 100 people pre-register for breakfast and pre-register for the trolley. So we thought that that was good. The trolley only holds 29 people, 30 people. So we thought we didn't want anyone to get closed out. And because the trolley was only going to run every hour, we thought to have reservations, and it ended up working out very nicely. We had a bunch of new businesses this year. Oops, sorry. Hard to see the clicker in the dark. This business, which is Pleasantdale Ambulatory Care, they used to be up in the Pleasantdale area, moved downtown and spent over $4 million renovating that building and providing this great surgical center that's now in our downtown. We also had a new restaurant, Don Juan's, Clothes Minded, which is a clothing store, and our favorite shoe repair gentleman, Ray. We also had a doctor's office come into town. We had 2 restaurant and bars, the Oak Barrel and Stone Depot. We also had another clothing store called Purchase Possessions, which is a brand new clothing store. We actually stole him from Montclair, so we're excited to have him downtown. We had the 2 ribbon cuttings for both the Oak Barrel and Purchased. We also held our second, well, I guess it was the first ever Edison Day and Street Fair combined. We partnered with Regal Bank and Pleasant Valley Productions, as well as the Community House and the Edison site. You can see that this big truck over here is John's Rotator, and we held a touch-a-truck event inside there where kids could climb and jump all over trucks. We also had a bunch of restaurants and vendors along Main Street. The museum was able to click how many people ended up coming to the street fair that day, and it was over 4,000. So we are excited to continue to do that event again this year. Mayor's 5K Run, again, another one of the things that we do every year. This past year, we were able to raise over $100,000. We had over 30 teams and 800 total runners. We also had many volunteers this year. We actually met a very nice organization called WIS, W-I-S, and they partnered with us and provided a lot of volunteers for the day. So it really streamlined everything that we had to do to get all the runners registered and running. You can see Joe Fagan is interviewing a lot of these people. This was the team Sort of Fly, and this is Shari Beth, one of our residents and largest fundraiser. We were able to tape a whole bunch of segments that day, and it aired on Joe's show in October. Okay. Small Business Saturday. This was one of our new events. We were able to request a special offer from all of our businesses, and we were able to get 32 businesses total to provide something special on Small Business Saturday. We were able to get a sponsor from Doctors Express, which is a new business in town. They're not in the corridor, but they do come and support our farmers market, and they were willing to give us a little bit of money to help with the advertising for that day. You can see that we had Joe and Silvera. Silvera is a new business in West Orange. She's not in the corridor either. She's a massage therapist. And this is Jillian, a volunteer who asked questions and interviewed a bunch of the folks. There's a YouTube video that you can look up and see all of what happened on that day. Okay. Oops, sorry. Sorry. More special events. We worked with the Public Relations Commission on a cleanup day. We also worked with the high school ROTC On the Memorial Day celebration, we attended Earth Hour with the Environmental Commission, and this is a pretty neat event where one of our businesses, 8 to 8 Barbershop, celebrates August 28th Day. And they hold a pie eating contest between the West Orange High School football team and the Orange football team and volleyball team. So it's a great event that they do. And we did this out in a beautiful day in August right in front of St. Mark's Square. We have partnerships with the Community House, the Edison Museum, the Chamber. Our new program, I guess the Pleasant Valley Civic Association just came online, and they are very excited to work with us as we are with them, and the Public Library. We're excited about the new director, Dave Kuby, and we're going to continue to work together with them. Discover West Orange, a TV show. I'm going to turn it over to Joe Fagan real quick to talk about the show.
I just want to say that this month, January, represents 1 year since the show has premiered on cable TV here in West Orange. Our first guest on the first show was Gary Englick, who Council President mentioned earlier. And on this past show, the anniversary of our first show where Gary appeared, we actually paid tribute to Gary, and I had a tax player come and play, a bugle player come and play tax for Gary on the front steps of Town Hall, and that will be on our show. Also during this past year, one of our episodes, the history of 280, caught the interest of Kurt Sieglin of Channel 12, News 12 New Jersey, and they did a segment on News 12 New Jersey that aired earlier this month about West Orange and 280. And we also filmed a pilot a year ago that was picked up for PBS, for a new show on PBS called Drive-By History. And one of those episodes will be about the history of Torrey Pullen of West Orange. And in the upcoming year, I have just recently put in a formal request to interview astronaut Scott Kelly from outer space on the TV show. I don't know if that will happen or not, but we'll see what we can do about that. Back to you, Megan.
Thanks, Joe. I think he loves saying that. Back to you. All right, so this year we participated in every training event that Main Street, New Jersey had to offer. And not only did I attend, Joe attended, and several members of our board and the community have come along with us. This picture on the left was, I guess the last training that they held was in Asbury Park, and we went to training and then had to stop by and see the Stone Pony. And you can see that's Joe there. And John Manilotis is taking his picture. On the right is an all-day training event that Main Street, New Jersey gave us as consultant. He's a business coach. His name is Mark Wilson, and we were able to spend all day with him on one-on-one coaching. Our business owners were able to break out. There's Lillian there from Closed Minded. She was able to sit down and talk to him. He's a merchandising and retail guru, and she was able to, ask some specific questions about moving her business to the next level. So we're excited about being able to participate in all of the training that Main Street, New Jersey has to offer. We approved new signs for downtown. I already talked about Dr. Abe Thomas. He's actually my kid's doctor. Dr. Abe is on Park Avenue, and that's a copy of his new sign, Purchase Possessions, their sign, and then this sign is the new Quigley Lot sign. It took a while to come to a sign that everybody could agree on. So this is what's going to go in at the George Quigley Municipal Lot. There will be a similar one that will be maroon that will go in the Lanzo lot in the middle of town, and then we're working on the other two signs for the other two parking lots in town. The Shop West Orange card, we've continued to partner with this program. This is a property tax credit program where we work with the Township of West Orange and the Chamber of Commerce. And you can see that there's a whole bunch of businesses downtown that participate in this program. We have over 40 businesses and 1,500 residents have registered their cards and started earning tax credits. We're excited to announce that Scalora Landscaping just signed their agreement, and now you can get your lawn maintenance done and earn tax credits with Scalora, I'm sorry. All right, we ended the year this year with our strategic planning event. It was a SWAT meeting that was held in the middle of December, in the middle of probably one of the busiest months of the year. And we were able to get over 50 residents and stakeholders to come out and talk about the downtown. And we studied with our consultant, Donna Harris, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is the very first step in creating our new strategic plan. Okay, so what you've all been waiting for, 2015 budget presentation. In 2014, we had some really great days downtown. We had a great street fair, we had a great days at our farmers market. In 2015, our goal is to have great everydays downtown. We want to see the kind of excitement that we show in our one-day events every day, or a lot more often. So, the 2015 budget is the same as last year, $220,000. There's a little bit of a drop in our assessment rate. It's 104.6. Township contribution remains the same at $40,809. Our $28,000 in in-kind services. We have $34,000 in rollover and $11,600 in other income. That's money that we derive from the 5K run and the farmers market. That gives you a total budget of $220 minus our $28,000 gives you a net operating budget of $192. The $192,000 is laid out over those 6 categories again, and they're as follows: administrative and operations, $65,000; insurance and professional services, roughly $8,000; economic development, $15,000; marketing and promotions, $23,000; design and visual improvements, $74,000. That's the largest budget item, has always been and will continue to be, at least for the foreseeable future. We have organization is $5,000. That gives you a total of $192,000. Okay, the budget comparison. I wanted to give you a guide to this is what we spent in each one of those 6 areas and what we budgeted. You can see that they're pretty much the same as what we've done in past years, at least last year. Okay, we created the 2015 budget around the 4-point approach that Main Street New Jersey sponsors. We have organization, economic restructuring, promotion, and design. This is Donna Harris, who is our consultant that we're going to be working with on our strategic plan. And she, because we're a Main Street community, we get her services for free. So we're excited about that. In organization, we budgeted $5,000, and that's to control membership, bylaws, trade shows, conferences. Economic restructuring is $15,000, and last year we just did business retention. This year we added the recruitment, and we really believe that we've laid a foundation that we can now start recruiting some businesses in, and we've got a lot to share with them that makes them, choose West Orange and lease downtown. The marketing and promotion budget is $23,815. We have pretty much all the same events and promotions that we've done in the past. We have added this business roundtable, which we're really excited about. The one thing that we need to spend more time with is hanging out with our business owners. We want to create more of an open dialogue with our business owners, and when we ask them to come to us, they kind of don't make the time or can't make the time to come. So we're going to them, and we're going to start having these weekly roundtables. Actually, we're going to have 5 roundtables next week, starting Monday through Friday in each one of the parts of downtown. Okay. And we're going to continue all those partnerships, Chamber of Commerce, Community House, into this year too. Visual design and improvement, $74,000. I said that that's our largest budget item. We have banners and signs. Our banners are new, and we don't need to, allocate funds to that. But there's other signage, wayfinding signs that we need to support. They cost a lot of money. They last for a real long time, but they cost some money up front. We have facade grants. Again, there's $20,000 that we put in that line item, and that is a direct benefit to our business and property owners. When they do a facade improvement, they can receive 50% up to $2,000 in grant money. We have our holiday decorations, and this year we added wreaths, so we spent a little bit more money on wreaths that are now ours that we can put up in parts of town that have lighted telephone poles, and with plugs in them. We also have landscaping and maintenance and beautification. Our landscaping budget and maintenance are an important part of what we do downtown. There is Bobby DeMayo. We have other gentlemen from the Public Works Department that work with us, but Bobby does the vast majority of work with us downtown. We want to continue the strong partnership that we have with them. And then on the right is Jose Lanverdi. He owns Greenland Landscaping. And because he loves planting planters and taking care of our downtown, we have a great relationship with him, and we get his services and his guys at a discounted rate. You can see that they're putting in one of the boxwoods in one of our planters this year. Okay. The future. We encourage everyone to find something that they like downtown, support it financially, come back once a week, and tell your friends. And this year we added, help us have great everydays. Oops. There we go. During the 2015 budget year, we plan to build upon the strong foundation that we have created. Our goal is to have great everydays. And how we're going to do that is by keeping people interested in what's going on downtown. The SWAT meeting was a really good example of that. It was the middle of December, and we had over 50 people come out, and they were engaged in discussing, the benefits of our downtown and what we need to do and the improvements that they would like to see. So I thought we've definitely got people interested, and now what we do with them is all part of our new strategic plan. We need to make our parking lots and where to park and where to go downtown more visible. So we're going to support better signage and more wayfinding signs there. In this coming year, it's our goal to promote business along the Main Street corridor. We want to help businesses with media exposure, websites, and our promotions. And lastly, it's important to be a good steward of the funds that we're entrusted with. When I come back to, every dime that we spend needs to benefit our business owners, and we truly think about that in every event that we hold, in every program that we support and sponsor. And it is important that we drive traffic to our businesses. And this year we hope to do that bigger and better than we ever have. So that's all that I have. We can turn the lights back on.
Megan and John, the members of the West Orange Downtown Alliance, I thank you for a tremendous budget overview and presentation. So thank you. Okay. Before opening this hearing on the West Orange Downtown Alliance budget, I wish to outline the procedure. Each person desiring to be heard will rise and give his or her name and address before speaking. I will recognize one speaker at a time in order of raising and as nearly as I can determine. Address all questions to the chair. Where necessary, they will be referred to individual members of the governing body. Questions must be confined solely to the Downtown West Orange Alliance SID budget for 2015 before us. School or county matters are not proper subjects of this hearing and cannot be discussed or answered here tonight. I now declare open the public meeting on the Downtown West Orange Alliance SID budget for 2015. Are there any members of the public wishing to be heard on the SID budget for 2015? Any of my council colleagues have any questions to the executive director or members of the Downtown Alliance? Councilman Kukoviac?
Yes, thank you, Council President. Just a few questions. Thank you for the presentation, very informative. Just have some questions based upon the budget. I just wanted to ask first about what appears to be a change from the budget we were presented and what was up on the presentation. The budget item about economic development was $15,000. Up on the presentation, it's talked about restructuring and recruiting, and that wasn't in the original budget. So maybe you can just talk about whether that was a change in the budget. If so,
It is
what's
the
the difference
same.
and what's going to be different about that?
It's definitely the same, and what I think it's all Joe Fagan and our one-on-one with our business owners. What we've been able to do at the tail end of this year was do sound bites with interviewing our different business owners. What I really think is a game changer for our businesses is when folks see a picture of where the store is and what's going on inside, that they will make an effort to try to come down and say, oh, okay, that's Ray the shoe guy. I want to go to him. And we were able to change. When we started talking about Ray, and we YouTube video Ray and Joe together, and we did the documentary on Small Business Saturday, we were able to give that business owner more exposure. So what we like about that is now when we're speaking to other businesses, Ray came from Newark. We have a few other businesses from Montclair that moved over. We're able to use what we do well downtown to help solidify and recruit more businesses so that they can hang out with Joe. It didn't cost Ray any money at all to hang out and create this little video about all the things that he does. So yes, in the budget outlay, it still says business retention. I would do /recruitment right there. Kevin Cruz wanted me to remind you that we also have Business Roundtable. What we're hoping to do is educate our business owners on all the great things that the Downtown Alliance can do for them. The new website will give half of our businesses that don't have a website of their own a footprint on the internet. And we'll be able to, once we have that dialogue with all of those business owners, be able to share with their friends. After we did the SWAT meeting, I had 3 phone calls about people from all over the state that wanted to invest in our downtown, look for storefronts. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about there.
Okay, so the original budget that we were looking at, it said business retention, $15,000, economic development, business retention, but that's changed.
No, it isn't. It's all Joe Fagan. It's all Joe Fagan. It's everything that we can do, and that's ever evolving with Joe. Joe's ability to, spend one-on-one time and filming it. We bought a camera. Actually, Joe bought the camera this year, so now he can go on the fly. So it's everything that has to do with Joe Fagan and building businesses and exposure for our businesses downtown.
Okay, so the budget just basically talked about business retention and economic development. The presentation talked about restructuring and recruiting.
It's all the same lingo. It's all the same language.
So Mr. Fagan's going to be recruiting?
What we're hoping to use, in part, when Joe creates a soundbite for our business owners, like exactly what happened with Ray, the shoe repair guy. He spent like 15 minutes with Ray. We YouTube video, and now more people are seeing that, and they see a value in what we do downtown. Based on what Joe is doing, the rest of the Downtown Alliance gets to do what we do very well, which is reinforcement of business exposure for our businesses and fill those vacant storefronts. I don't think you can look at it individually at all. I think you need to look at it collectively, that in that line item, we're requesting that Joe expand what he does in addition to the TV show and spend a lot more time with our business owners. And then from that, we can springboard into, look at the great support you got for our business, for having a business in our downtown.
Okay, so where does the $15,000 go? Who receives that?
Joe
Mr.
gets
Fagan
$15,000.
And that's to run the...
to do everything we need Joe to do.
The public access show, that's what he does?
In part.
Okay, and then he also is recruiting
He's videotaping. It's everything that we need him to do. Because he's such a talented guy, I think that position just expands. And with technology, Joe bought a camera, so we're able to do more with all things Joe. I would think that if Joe or the Downtown Alliance has a new idea and we can use Joe's really good at lots of things. Anything that we do with Joe comes out of that line item. There's no new money going to support that. It's what we can do based on what Joe brings to our organization that will springboard a lot of the other work that's happening within the Alliance.
Okay. You had mentioned the website, and I guess in 2014, for most of 2014, we kept hearing that the website was under development and was coming and was here. I just went to the website today. It's still not up. Can you explain why it's taken?
Like a week. I think February 2nd is the day that it will be up and running.
What's been the challenge?
I'm sorry?
What's been the challenge? Why?
I think that it's that I'm the really one staff person, and it's a huge job. So we've been able to create a form. Perry Bashkoff helped us with an internet form. So it's really just, I'm a busy gal, and it's a priority, but it was like the third thing that we could do. So it's really all me.
Okay. I have previously attended the Downtown Music and Food Festival. I didn't see it in the budget this year. Has something happened to that?
The music festival?
Yes.
Yes, actually, I told the rec department that the Downtown Alliance decided that it wasn't a very good use of our $2,000 to fund that event when about 100 people show up. So they weren't real excited about us changing that amount of money. I told them that we would be more than happy to spend $2,000 on an event that possibly the night before fireworks isn't a good night, or a music festival that doesn't bring, the crowds out. We need to do something else, and they know that. So we're actually hoping to have a really big concert on the night of the street fair, which will add a large music element to the street fair. And that's where those funds, we're still allocating $2,000 to that part of our street fair.
And I also remember last year, the Alliance came to one of the council meetings and talked about the program to try to dress up some of the windows of the empty storefronts. I didn't see any mention of that in the budget. How's that going?
We have a couple we have the pictures ready to go, and there are actually some that are down in the valley. The two pictures were supposed to go into a beautiful window, and then that store got rented. So we had to back off of that.
Good reason.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Right. So, we're still continuing to do that. One of the things that we thought about was we don't want to showcase all of the vacancies by putting these big, huge pictures in all of these storefronts. So we sort of tweaked that program, and now these gorgeous pictures are in restaurants and salons that you can see them when you're just there shopping.
Thank you. That's all the questions I had. Thank you.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Mick, thank you again for that presentation, and Joe. I think, going back to the economic development, last year we found out that the Environmental Commission, though it was on the books, was defunct. We also found out last year, the end of last year, that we have an Economic Development Commission that is basically defunct. But I have been kind of amassing groups of people from the Chamber, from the Planning Board, Downtown Alliances showed an interest that I would really like to reinstate that, if that's the proper word, for the commission. That would go hand in hand with this recruitment and economic development for the downtown, support the downtown, and also the rest of the town. So hopefully within the next month or so, we'll put that commission back on our books.
I think that the best way for us to recruit new businesses is to support the old businesses that are here, and that's really what we've done in 2014. We provided a good base of support and help to our business owners and other towns. I actually was going to put a quote in from Silvera She's the new massage therapist, and she actually said, I had a business in Newark for 15 years, and I can't believe all the support that West Orange gives a new business. She should have came here a long time ago. So those are the kind of things that, you know, we want to hear over and over again and actually get those businesses interested in renting those vacant storefronts.
And we see the same thing. I see the same thing with this chamber annual breakfast. People that are bringing promotional items to put in our welcome bags, flyers that will go out in the program. We're seeing the same thing. There is the center on Main Street that actually opened a second shop right across the street here. So it's the same thing, that they're so pleased with the support that they're receiving from the business community. So it's a very good thing. I think we're just going to expand on that. Good.
Thank you. Councilwoman Spango?
I can wait.
Okay. I'd just like to say, it just shows you how partnerships really work and how you've gotten together, and all the different organizations throughout the township, no matter where there are, have come together to support the West Orange community, and especially the business community. You look at the street fair, which is a fantastic thing. We've never done something like that before, but you pulled it together, working with the National Park Service, working with the business people, and it pulled together. You had over 5,000 people. The Edison Museum never had the type of, you know, Edison Day that they've ever had until the cooperation and the partnership came together. So it goes to show that this is money well spent. The building of the partnerships, the SWAT, to bring residents really who never understood the downtown corridor and understood the problems and the issues facing the downtown corridor. Now they have a better understanding. They have the education. So the Downtown Alliance is doing what they've been commissioned to do. And I'm very proud of you. And I'm proud to be the liaison to the Downtown Alliance. But you've done a great job. I understand about the website. It's a hard thing, but we're going to wait for that now. And looking on February 2nd, we'll hold you to it. And we're looking forward to that. But the business people of West Orange have shown their support too, because they're very enthusiastic in what you're attempting to do. And both you and John and members of the Downtown Alliance, Kevin and Michael Brick, and we look forward to more great days in the downtown corridor. So thank you. Councilwoman Spango?
Well, I just wanted to kind of reiterate what Council President just said. I think it all, being a business owner myself, I think it all comes down to the job that the director has been doing. Her chair knows as well as I do, it's very tough in business. Today you have to think out of the box, and what you're doing, helping downtown businesses, any help that you can provide them, like you said, this woman from Newark, is obviously appreciated. As far as your website, I mean, I'm still working on Starlights too, and it's like I have no time to do it. But I think you're doing a wonderful job, and any help that you can give to any business owner, and I know that, you know, you concentrate downtown, but it's much appreciated because it's very hard out there today in business. It's not like it used to be, and it's getting better, but we have a ways to go. So I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
I need you up the hill.
Well, you know what? We partnered with Small Business Saturday, and we had a bunch of
Yes,
businesses
we did.
that weren't.
Well,
not,
I do that anyway because I accept American Express, like they contact me every year. But I need somebody like you up there.
Well, you know what? I think that what we try to do, and that's where I think the partnerships that we have with our, you know, the other organizations in town is really important. And we have board members that go and sit on and help out any organization that needs anything that we can do to help them make their area of town better benefits us. And you know, we care all about West Orange. I think that the biggest thing that our business owners can't afford to do is advertise and
Marketing
advocate
is
for
very
themselves.
expensive.
It's really expensive. Print media is really, really expensive. All the crazy internet programs that are out there, you know, who gets taken advantage of, and you sign up for 3 months free, and then you don't pay them big money after that. So we really think that we've been able to help them, guide them with that, and provide internet presence that they otherwise wouldn't have. So we're going to continue to double down on all of that, and we'll see you next year. If you guys vote yes.
Just add to that.
You have to talk in a microphone.
Patty, if I may just address your point briefly. On the TV show, one thing that we are definitely looking to do and have already started doing is to bridge the gap between Pleasantdale and downtown. In fact,
You mean up the hill and down the hill?
I was
refer to it that
consciously
way.
avoiding saying up the hill
Deliberately
and
don't
down the
refer
hill.
to it that way.
But yes, we are looking to bridge that gap, and on the last show, which taped last week, I don't believe it has aired yet, we actually had Roz Moskowitz-Belsky on the show to address some of the speeding issues in Pleasantdale. But in the upcoming year, we will definitely be in Pleasantdale and helping the Pleasantdale businesses too, because they're all part of the West Orange community. Certainly our main focus is on the downtown corridor, but the show is not limited to just downtown.
Thank you,
I
Joe.
think
Thank you.
David Joe would be remiss of me if I didn't mention that he reminds us that our job is downtown and that I'm an executive director for the Downtown Alliance. Everything that we do over and above what happens downtown is the plus. We make sure that everything that needs to happen downtown is happening, and I really think that when we partner with businesses like Small Business Saturday, that added credibility when we had, you know, these up the hill businesses that were all advertising on that sheet with us, that helps downtown. But we remember every day that our charge is to take care of downtown. And we add little things all along throughout the year, but the main thrust and all of our commitment is to those 181 property owners and business owners.
Thank you, Ms. Pro.
Thank
Councilman Cirillo.
Yes, thank you, Council President. Thank you for that proactive presentation. That was very well laid out, and I'm very happy with the TV show.
Thank you.
It brings a lot of exposure, and thank you to the board members here. As far as the website, I do want to say, you're starting to see a lot of, I guess, a lot of marketing trending towards social media. I don't want to say that websites are completely dead, because they're becoming like a source of information only, but not really a form of marketing. It's really like an informative outline of downtown West Orange lines, maybe put your budget or the list of businesses that exist, but you're going to start seeing that a lot of your hits will be coming from social media. So my recommendation is to really tie up with the West Orange NJ. I'm sure you do this. I've seen it. The West Orange NJ, a Facebook page, some of that, some of the YouTube stuff. Try to make sure that it goes on there, because you're gonna start seeing there's a lot more eyes paying attention. It's becoming so active, and as you guys have noticed, there's like the neighborhoods now have Facebook pages, and it's people that belong in all of them, and you are seeing a lot more volume and a lot more eyes in social media than a website. So don't focus too much on the website. Focus on it just as a source of information, but in terms of marketing, social media is where it's at, and that's what I recommend.
I think that, not that it hasn't been a priority for us, because it definitely is. But I think that when we started this project, like 3 years ago, when we received the grant from Main Street, New Jersey, that websites were the main place to go. And our board talks about it. Jason Robinson from 8-to-8 Barbershop, he said, you know, exactly what you said. Social media is where it's at. Where what I think is important, and what we've talked about as a board is just what we said, that when folks saw where Ray's business is and what it looks like and where you can park, when they visually saw that, they came downtown. You know, they sought him out. And one of the things that in the business profile sheet that we're starting to have our businesses fill out, one of the questions is, where do you park? A lot of people say, well, I come downtown, but I can't park. And we're going to have right on the business profile sheet, there's on-street parking, I have a driveway, park in the Lando lot. You know, so it'll be listed there, which should help drive traffic to those businesses. But you're absolutely right, social media, and we do a lot of work with Perry and other folks that provide that help with us. And, you know, those are things that our business owners can't afford to do. You know, even the alternative press is like $100 a month, easy, for them to push out your, you know, and that's a lot of money for one small business owner. The other thing with the website will be that all of our restaurants can post their menu. So you see the new, what do they sell at Don Juan's restaurant? You know, and you go in and you see they got really great guacamole. You can, you know, see their menu before you go into their store. And that seems to be at least a bit of the nut to get people to come downtown. That they can see it, then maybe they'll come. So I appreciate.
We're all planning for Super Bowl parties next weekend, so what do I do with that? I talked about guacamole. that's
Oh,
right
right,
now.
no, chips and guacamole, Delmont 55 Kingsley Avenue.
There you go.
That's the place to
I
go.
just have one more question,
Sure.
Council President. On the budget itself, in terms of revenue, there's a surplus from last year that's carrying over $35,000. And you mentioned that 220 is the same amount as last year, the 220. If there's a surplus of 35,000 being carried over, is there a line item that grew?
It was left over from the year before.
Right, so does that mean that you're spending more in a particular line item?
No, I think that the way we calculated the fund balance in 2 years ago, where it was added in and then we took it out, that was the difference. It was 65,000 down to 35,000, right? So we still have two investments that make up, so there's still about $65,000 there, but those are CDs, it's money that's tied up that we don't have access to. And we'll probably try to allocate that within next year's budget, that we'll be ready. I think that we came really close. I was sweating out that 189 when I realized halfway through how much money we were really spending.
So the 35 didn't come from the restricted reserve that you mentioned, but rather money that was left over?
Money that was there from the year before.
Okay, all right, okay, thank you. Thank you, Council President.
Since I see no other members of the public or my council colleagues wishing to ask any questions, I would entertain a motion to close this hearing.
Motion moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried.
I will now entertain a motion to adopt a Downtown West Orange Alliance SID budget for 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
No.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
The motion is carried.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
and
you.
good luck and continued success, Downtown Alliance.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, we'll continue with other resolutions that were pulled.
Resolution H was pulled this evening. Resolution to award a professional services contract to Matrix New World to provide professional environmental services of a licensed site remediation professional to further investigate those sites where underground storage tanks were removed in accordance with their proposal dated December 3rd, 2014.
I don't see Director Lepore here this evening. Can anyone from the administration comment on this?
This has been going on for
Councilman
a very
Krokoviac
long
pulled.
time.
Joe pulled it.
Councilman?
Yes, I just pulled it because I'm a little concerned about the amount of money that we're spending without competitive bidding or competitive contracting, and I didn't want to belabor the point, but this is a contract that we spent a little over $41,000 early last year to do initial investigation of multiple sites within the town properties that have problems with environmental remediation. And if I remember correctly, the bid back last year was competitively bid, and this actually turned out to be the highest of the three bids. But we selected it, and the council approved it because of Mr. Lepore's assurance that these folks were the best qualified to do this. Now we're being presented with additional work at the sites based upon further remediation from the initial findings from the initial contract, and the contract is for $83,270. It was not competitively bid. It was not competitively contracted. And I'm just concerned now we're spending close to $125,000, and I really think these things should be competitively bid. And so I didn't want to belabor the point, but I just wanted to pull it so that when we voted on it, I could express my concern with my vote.
Is there a motion to approve Resolution 44-15?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
No.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
The motion is carried. We have Resolution 51-15, resolution authorizing an emergency contract between the Township and Rapid Pump and Meter Company for emergency improvements at the Northfield Avenue Pump Station in the amount of $52,831.64 to replace leaking pipes and valves that were flooding the pumps in the station, jeopardizing public health, safety, and welfare. That was pulled by Councilman Kukoviac.
Councilman Krovic?
Yes, thank you, Council President. Again, I pulled this not just because of the money that was spent. We spent almost $53,000 on this emergency contract. It's, I think, inappropriate to call it a contract because there actually isn't a contract. The work was simply done last October and November. It totaled almost $53,000, and the work was done, and the facility, actually even with the work, has recently had serious additional problems. We have fixing this as part of our 2014 capital budget. It just hasn't gotten done yet. The money was spent. There isn't, as far as I can tell, a contract that exists. It was done under emergency contracting rules that also required some internal processes within the township to follow a process so that more than one person is making these decisions, and the rest of the government knows about it. According to the letter that, or the note that Mr. Lepore sent yesterday, the process wasn't was not followed, and I'm just concerned that we're spending money. We're not apparently following the state requirements. I don't think there's anything nefarious in this, but I don't want to provide my approval to something that I don't think is being done in the right way. I just wanted to pull it.
Just to further, a little bit further on that, Councilman Krovic mentions that there is a process by which more than one person makes that decision. And the fact of the matter is that in the process there were numerous people that made the decision to move forward with this emergency contract. Mr. Kukovic's right, there is not a formal contract, but whenever we do purchases, certainly once we cut a purchase order, that is considered a contract. So from a terminology point of view, it's still accurate. But there is additionally there is a requirement that once an emergency is declared, that be reduced to writing as soon as possible and forwarded to the purchasing agent or other individual within the organization responsible. And that particular point, as far as it being reduced to writing, did not occur in what would consider to be a timely basis, and we will make sure that in the future that we make sure that that does happen. But the decision-making process was held with multiple individuals, reviewed whether or not it was appropriate, and it was done on a verbal basis. And in fact, again, this particular how emergencies go when you're dealing with sewage, it's probably one of the most difficult ones, and these decisions really do need to be made quickly. So I just wanted to make the point that there was multiple people involved in making the decision to move forward with this.
And this situation did pose a public health problem, right, if it wasn't corrected?
If not attended to, a public health problem would be an environmental issue in terms of, leakage potentially.
Which would cost the township additional money for remediation.
Remediation, fines, there's, significant backlash on the township if we didn't deal with this.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have done it, but I'm saying we should have followed the procedure. And I would also like to ask that when we do these emergency type of expenditures, that a quick email to the council would be very helpful. I mean, this stuff happened in October, and we found out about it, at least I found out about it last week when we got the packet. So it would just be helpful if this stuff isn't coming before the council for approval, that that just send a quick email and say, we have this emergency, here's what we're doing, you know, it would be helpful. I know it's not required, but at least I don't think it's required, but it would be very helpful at least for me to know when these sort of things are going on.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to?
Councilman Cirillo?
I just want to make sure the neighbors are okay. This is sewage flowing. I mean, this is very, like, it's a very serious situation. I mean, that threatens public health.
We did deal with it at that point in time. Councilman Krokoviac indicated that we're now having additional issues. We're
Right.
dealing with that as well. I mean, our the first and foremost is taking care of the health, welfare, and safety of the residences. It's also very important for us to fill in, with, you know, and comply with our technical requirements. But
Right.
first and foremost is taking care of the health, welfare.
Right, and the process is being followed. It was an emergency then. Now we're drafting specs and we're following the public contracts law accordingly for the next, for the additional work that's required. There's no longer expenditures being extended as in an emergency capacity.
In the current case coming up, well, absolutely what happened, and even within this case, the only area where we were deficient was a request, you know, or a request and a declaration, I guess, of the emergency from the engineering department was not reduced to writing and submitted to purchasing. But however, everyone was aware and made the decision to move forward. So we did have an issue with that technical requirement, but the actual day-to-days were right on, spot on, so.
Are those underground valves or they're
pumps.
above ground pumps?
Yeah, the valves and the pumps, they're
'Cause I'm picturing the site, there's a bus stop there, right on the corner there. Are we talking about the same site?
Yeah, it's
Dogwood?
actually the pump station. If the pump station goes down, you can't pump the sewage.
Right.
So you got to keep the pump station up and running. So the work was done inside the pump station.
Okay.
Which is what we have to
We're on
continue
North
now.
North Avenue.
Sure.
Because if the pump
By
station goes
Dogwood?
down, you can't pump the sewage.
By where?
Dogwood?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right by Master Pizza.
Yeah, right back there. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I'm glad that, you know, didn't have any further problems.
Just a quick question, is the repairs that are being made now, are those also being done under an emergency contract situation?
Actually, there are certain expenses that we've incurred under an emergency circumstance, but that basically are allowing us to go out, while we're not doing a competitive bid or competitive contract, we're using a competitive process to get the vendors in to finish up the work that's necessary. So we will be presenting that to council as soon as that's completed. So because we've taken some steps to try to ameliorate, to give us the breathing room, but we don't have enough breathing room to go out for a 6-month bid process. It just we don't have that kind of time. But we do have a few weeks to get a competitive process, because it's going to be much larger dollars. Probably going, you know, frankly, it'll probably be $250,000. But you know, because of that, we felt it very important that we take just the steps that we needed to do to protect the public for the time period between now and then, and put together a competitive process, mimicking, quite frankly, a competitive contracting type of process that allow us to get the best price that we can get under the circumstances. And you know, we'll be presenting that to council as soon as we're done with that.
Council President.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Councilwoman.
And correct me if I'm wrong, having dealt with this firsthand myself, John, sometimes, and as Jack knows as well, sometimes when something like this happens, it's such an emergency, you just have to react to fix the problem. Yeah. Otherwise, you can have major, major health problems.
There's no doubt, there's no doubt that if we don't deal with these issues, especially with raw sewage, by definition, if you don't deal with it, you have major problems.
And sometimes
it will be expensive and unhealthy, and just could be disastrous.
And when they were on the corner of Mount Pleasant and Pleasant Valley Way working, sometimes they don't even know what they're going to deal with until they get down there.
Well, in fact, that was the circumstance in this particular. One of the reasons this took so long to come back to council was that the first thing was we just needed to get somebody in there to figure out what to do. and it takes a while. And then, and as you, in this case, because a lot of it is, you know, you're literally under water or whatever,
Not
you
necessarily.
really, it's difficult to really put together the plan at first, so it does take time.
Because you're reacting to the
And
problem.
it's expensive. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You know, emergent circumstances, you're calling in vendors in a moment's notice, you know, many times late at night. It by definition is going to be more expensive than going out and doing a bid.
Right.
But we think by doing it for the next phase, doing some type of a competitive process, that we're protecting both the environment and our residents and the taxpayers and interest in trying to get the best price that we can.
So I'm very pleased to hear that we're going to introduce some competition into this when we have a little bit of breathing space. And you mentioned $250,000. That wouldn't surprise me. And I would assume that's going to be something that would be covered out of our capital budget that we previously approved.
We hope so.
But is there a piece of that that's emergency spending that's going on now that to get us to the breathing point so that we can do the more competitive?
There are some, we're doing basically some alternate pumping.
Right.
That is on an emergent basis, which is just giving us the breathing room.
Right.
We'll be bringing back that to you as well with the whole package.
Just roughly how much is that?
Oh, I don't want to give you a number and be off. I mean, because part of it, you know, it's not just the rental of the equipment as much as it's also the gasoline that's running 24 hours a day. It's the staffing that now has to be there that didn't have to be there before. So, you know, the numbers are, it's a lot of money. I mean, it's tens of thousands of dollars. The actual, you know, what we'll bring back to you will not be, because, you know, we don't have to come to you for the gasoline, we don't have to come back to you for the staffing, but we do have to come back to you for a contract. And, you know, so the rental of these pumps will be, you know, once we establish what our needs are and how long we're going to need them, we'll be coming back to you for that.
And again, it's just very helpful for the council to know when these dollars are going to be coming close, so thank you.
Can I just say one thing? I just want to make one thing clear. Understand what we're doing here. We have a pump station that services a large part of this community that needs to be replaced, totally, at this point. And we're doing everything we can do to keep it up and running until we can get people in there to redo it.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what we're doing right now.
Any other comments from my council colleagues?
I make a motion.
Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 51-15?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Kukoviac?
No.
Did you say no?
I'm sorry, no, excuse me.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Based on the emergent need that was spelled out in the correspondence with Mr. Lepore, yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Based on public safety, yes.
Council President Garino.
Based on public health and safety, yes.
The motion is carried. Ordinances on second and final reading, 2437-15. An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 7 Traffic, subsection 711, parking time limited on certain streets during certain hours, subsection 7-23.1, turn prohibitions, and subsection 7-26.1, bus stops of the revised ordinances of West Orange, St. Cloud Avenue. Is there a motion to introduce on second and final reading?
So moved. Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes. Are there any members of the public wishing to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, I make a motion to adopt our ordinance 2436-15.
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
I'm sorry, just wanted to flag something. I thought you said 2436?
7.
7.
It's 7. Okay.
7.
Okay, just want to be sure the record's clear. Okay, I vote yes.
Okay. Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Ordinance 2438-15, an ordinance amending ordinance creating a reclassification and salary schedule of certain Township of West Orange employees, setting forth their titles, classifications, salary ranges, and adopting a salary guide and establishing the employee's status as a Township employee under the guidelines of New Jersey Department of Personnel, Communications Manager. Is there a motion to introduce on second and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Kukoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes. Are there any members of the public wishing to be heard on ordinance 2438-15? Seeing none, I make a motion to adopt ordinance 2438-15.
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Kukoviac?
Just for the record, I had voted against this in the original budget deliberations early last year, so I'm going to vote against it again, so I'm voting no.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Ordinance is on first reading, 2439-15. An ordinance amending an ordinance creating a reclassification and salary schedule of certain Township of West Orange employees, setting forth their titles, classifications, and salary ranges, and adopting a salary guide and establishing the employee's status as a Township employee and under the guidelines of the New Jersey Department of Personnel, Assistant Supervisor / Public Works. Is there a motion to introduce on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Kukoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes, and I'm pleased to see this because I requested this a long time ago.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Ordinance 2440-15, refunding bond ordinance providing for the refunding of emergency appropriations related to payment of amounts owing to others for taxes levied in and by the Township of West Orange, appropriating $2,284,702, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,284,702 bonds or notes of the Township for financing the cost thereof. Is there a motion to introduce on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Kukoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Ordinance 2441-15, refunding bond ordinance providing for the refunding of emergency appropriations related to the severance liabilities from the layoff or retirement of employees in and by the Township of West Orange, appropriating $1 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1 million bonds or notes of the Township for financing costs thereof. Is there a motion to introduce on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Kukoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Okay. We need to adjourn as the council and go into our ABC board.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I make a motion that we adjourn as the Township Council and reconvene as the West Orange ABC Board.
Is there a second?
Second.
And now I need a motion to return, to adjourn as ABC and return as council.
I make a motion to adjourn as the ABC Board and reconvene as the West Orange Township Council.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried.
Okay. Just like to thank everyone for attending tonight, for the promotional ceremony, to the citation to Judge Starrett. I'd like to thank our tremendous Public Works Department for clearing our streets and making it a safe driveway for all of our residents. They did a tremendous job, and we should thank them. Also hope each one of you had a safe day today. Hope you enjoyed some family time while being home. And I look forward to seeing you at our next Township meeting, which will be February 10th here in Township Chambers. I make a motion to adjourn the Township Council meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried.
Good night, West Orange, and have a great evening.